Yes, duping eyeshadow color story isn't just about saving money. Hi, welcome to the Art App. Today we're going to talk about why you should start immediately duping the color stories of eyeshadow palettes. A lot of people think that duping is just a way to cope with impulse buying or save up some money, and that part is true. But what it does help you with is actually seeing the palette and revealing its innermost secrets, and that is pretty satisfying. What I have found out is that duping actually trains your eye. You start spotting shade similarities, picking up on undertones, finishes, and the whole vibe. You begin to understand why certain colors are placed together or how they can play off each other. Duping turns you from someone who sees eyeshadows as just pretty colors or nice shiny things into someone who can interpret color stories. It makes you a more intentional shopper, sure, but it also makes you a more creative person. Suddenly, you're no longer chasing shiny and new, you're seeing and interpreting. You start thinking what works together, what contrasts, what surprises you. You are flexing that color matching muscle, and it doesn't stop at makeup. Once you start practicing color stories, you start seeing them everywhere, in your clothes, in your accessories. Like right now, I am breaking up with my monochromatic era and embracing using more daring colors, and I'm so excited to see where it will go. Also, I used to be a super matchy person. If I wore silver earrings, everything else has to be silver. I never mix and match metals. But when I had these two eyeshadow palettes in my rotation, I dared to combine those two colors on my eyes. I loved that makeup look so much that I barely made myself wash it off in the evening. Now I'm more open to using different textures and metals in my accessories, and that in turn helped me to come up with so many new interesting combinations that I would never have thought about before. Another example, this time in terms of makeup, is when I was trying to dupe the new Ethereal Eyes Moonlight palette from Makeup by Mario. This palette looks extremely cool tone, but somehow it has these golden sparkles mixed in. For that video, I followed Mario's tutorial where he paired a golden sparkles with grayish cool toned blues. I thought, no way would I be able to pull it off. But the end result was so beautiful that I constantly relive that moment, and I like it so much that from time to time I even recreate that specific look, even though I was so reluctant initially. If I hadn't tried to dupe that eyeshadow palette, I would never have tried that eye look. I would still be stuck thinking that gold only goes with brown and feeling completely lost when I look at my blues in my collection. But duping showed me that there is so much more to this combo than I thought. Another big magic moment for duping eyeshadow palettes color story is it helps you to use and actually see what you have. And I mean really see. What helped me a lot is moving my eyeshadows around, because let's face it, packaging can be very misleading. Here you can clearly see the difference in tones when these three ColourPop shades are in a white packaging, but as soon as you move down to the black, they are practically indistinguishable. Changing the background or placing the similar looking eyeshadows side by side can make huge difference. Sometimes you don't even realize how unique or how repetitive the shade is unless you compare it directly. And duping gives you just the perfect excuse to do so. Another great thing about duping is that it doesn't make you feel like you're missing out. Actually, it helps you to be much more creative. You stop thinking like, oh, I can't have or get this eyeshadow palette. Instead, you can think, oh, maybe I can do something even better with what I already have in my collection. And actually, I am a prime example of that. I used to be obsessed over one eyeshadow palette, and I was seriously considered buying it. Once I sat down, duped it, I realized that I was obsessing actually over one eyeshadow. It was a very nice pastel-y lavender color that I thought would be perfect as my inner corner highlight. So I had two options. Either I can buy just single shade from this brand or maybe from the other one, or just mix two shades I already owned in order to get that exact lavender I was so craving for. I love the and mixture. I've been using it so much that I've already hit a pen. So by taking time to dupe that palette, I learned what I actually liked, and my own makeup collection helped me to get it. The last reason why you have to start duping eyeshadow color stories is it actually helps to relieve a decision fatigue. Pre-made color stories is a kind of framework. So whenever you feel overwhelmed with your collection of singles, duping acts as a mini guide that helps you to recreate some vibe, feeling, aesthetics, lore, instead of just looking at your singles collection every time you open the drawer and then close it. These days, I pretty much always dupe any eyeshadow palette that I even consider buying because it helps me to see what I actually want, what I actually have, what my collection maybe is lacking, and how I can get that. So yeah, saving money might be how the duping started, but its real value is in how it changes the way you see and use your makeup. It is more about interpreting and learning more about yourself, including. I would love to hear your thoughts. How often do you personally dupe the color story of eyeshadow palette? Let me know in the comment section below. Thank you so much for spending your time with me. I'll see you next time. Bye!